Hello and welcome to our Nebosh tutorials. We are moving on with our syllabus in Nebosh International General Certificate, and we are currently looking at element 3, and specifically we are looking at the risk assessment. I decided to cover this learning outcome because it is very important, and this is for the Nebosh students who are hoping or are expecting to do their examination. This topic is very helpful. So I decided to cover it earlier in advance so that as we move on, those who are expecting to do or to face their examination, they might get the knowledge, they might benefit from the knowledge, and they might be able to prepare themselves for the examination. Therefore, I decided to cover this topic once and for all. At the same time, for those who will have questions and they need explanation or they need elaboration on where and the areas that they haven't understood well, maybe through their learning partners, they may raise the questions and we can handle them here together. So we are moving on. We already started from a long time ago, but we never finished it. So we are now looking at the purpose of the risk assessment. So in countries such as Britain and Europe, there is a rule, there is a regulation, there is a statute, there is a statute rule, or there is a statute regulations which govern the employers, that they require them to do or to conduct risk assessment for them to be granted the chance to either continue with their work activities or to begin their organization, depending on the type of the workplace or the types of activity that is going to be taking place in that organization or in that workplace. The employer is required to submit to the state, that is to the government, a risk assessment that will identify all the hazards which are present in the workplace and how the hazards are going to be either eliminated or their risk are going to be minimized to the acceptable level. So risk assessment becomes a compulsory because it is a statute law. And here we have an example of some of the specific work activities that needs specific risk assessment. Not all work activities needs risk assessment, but there are specific work activities that needs specific risk assessment to be conducted for the government to grant the organization or the organization or the company go ahead to start the work activities. Example of the specific work activities that require specific risk assessment is when the organization is carrying out hazardous work activities, such as the handling of chemicals and substances which are hazardous. Then there is this regulation which is the control of substances hazardous to health regulation. This is a regulation that is required to be submitted to the government in order that the organization can be granted the permit to continue or to start the work activities. The other activity that requires specific risk assessment, which is governed by the law, is the fire risk assessment. The fire hazard, or if the organization or the work activities are prone to fire, then risk assessment become compulsory specifically to this type of workplace because it possesses or it presents a fire hazard. So here is the regulation which is governing the health and safety fire risk assessment, and that is the Fire Safety Regulation Order number 2005. It governs and regulates and require the employers to provide or to conduct risk assessment against fire, so that it can be able to prevent and to protect the workers and the public against from the fire. The third risk assessment, or the third specific work activity that requires specific risk assessment, is where the work activity produces a lot of noise. If there is a lot of noise coming from the workplace, therefore, the employer is required by the state law. The employer is required by the state law to conduct risk assessment in order that it can prevent or protect the workers from the noise level, and how the noise level will be controlled to the acceptable standards. The noise, which is the noise at work regulation number 2005 as well. The other specific work activity that require and becomes mandatory for the organization or the employer to conduct risk assessment is the display screen equipment, where the workers are exposed to screen for a long duration of time, such as the cashiers or the receptionists or CCTV operators, who normally stay in front of the screen for a long duration of time. There is specific risk assessment that must be conducted in order to control how this work will be conducted without harming the employees. And this is also under the display screen equipments regulation number 1992. So all this I'm talking about are the laws which are governing these specific types of risk assessment. Now, the aim of the risk assessment is to ensure that the hazard is eliminated. So the main aim of the risk assessment is to eliminate the hazard from the workplace, or to minimize the risk to the acceptable standards. And this will mark the end of our today's tutorial as we move on. And since this information is very critical, when we discuss in this kind of tutorial, you should always have somewhere to write notes or to put down points, especially to the students who are likely to sit for their examination. It is very much important that even if you attend the classes in the learning center or in your given institute, it is very much important to put down points so that they may help you during your preparation for your examination. So let's meet in the next tutorial, as we are going to talk about the objectives of risk assessment. In the next tutorial, we are going to talk about the objectives of risk assessment. Thank you very much, and let's meet in the next video.